Hello, peace be with you. As I'm sure you've already noticed, I am out in my garden. I love my garden very much, and I'm usually out here for a little while on most days, even when it's raining. So, for collective worship this morning, I'm going to take you on a bit of a trip round my garden. So, let's go. One of the things that I love doing more than anything in my garden is growing things that me and my family can eat. Last summer, these empty beds that you can see were full of things like potatoes and carrots and sweet potatoes and beans, as well as some flowers. The greenhouse, which you can see over there, but it has some tarpaulin on it because we're doing some work in it. But the greenhouse was full of tomatoes and cucumbers and some really fun little tiny green fruits called cucamelons. What looks like sticks over there in the fruit cage was covered with raspberries and wineberries, and the slightly dead looking, but they're not really, trees against the wall over there were growing apples and plums and cherries. At the moment there's not all that much growing in my garden. There are some leeks down here. Those are one of the things that you can plant in the autumn, and they grow throughout the winter and are ready for eating now. And next to them there are broad beans, which you also start off in the autumn, but they won't be ready to eat for a little bit longer yet. I have got some seeds ready for planting when the weather is a bit warmer. It's too early to plant them yet because it's still too cold and there's not enough light for them to grow properly. As I look around the garden though, I find things that give me encouragement, things that remind me that the garden is coming back to life and that before long the day will come when I can start planting the things that I want to plant. There are the snowdrops, and this lovely flowering quince with a gorgeous red flower, a winter sweet which doesn't look very impressive but does smell good, and tiny purple crocuses poking up through the grass. But I also get encouragement from other people, and that is really important. I'm part of a couple of gardening groups where, although we can't actually meet together at the moment, we can meet together online and we encourage each other that way. We talk about what seeds we've bought, about what different things we're going to try growing this year that we haven't tried before, and about the things that we grew that worked really well last year. Sometimes people come to the groups who've never done gardening before and are trying things out for the first time, and that's a time when encouragement is really important. Sometimes they don't really know very much. They don't know what they're doing. And those of us who have been gardening for a long time can encourage them by telling them that they are doing the right things, or by encouraging them to think about things a little bit differently because it might work better, but always doing it gently. Encouragement is really important to all of us, whatever it is that we're doing. I'm sure that all of you know that lovely feeling when you've got something right, perhaps at home, perhaps in school, perhaps somewhere completely different. But when someone says, "That's great, well done," or maybe "You're doing really well, stick with it, you'll get there." The word encouragement means to give heart, helping people who might be losing heart, thinking that something is too difficult, or it's taking too long, or that they really can't do it, and helping them to see that they can do it and that they should keep going. Encouraging, giving them new heart. In the Bible, there's a man called Barnabas. Barnabas probably wasn't his real name. It was almost certainly a nickname given to him by the people who knew him well. And Barnabas means encourager or son of encouragement. People gave him this name because Barnabas was someone who was always there for people who needed a bit of a boost. He noticed when people were feeling down and was good at finding the right things to say to cheer them up again. He noticed the people that other people didn't want to have around, and he went out of his way to make friends with them and let him know that he valued them. He even noticed when the people who were in charge, the people who were much more important than him in some ways, simply needed someone to say, "You're doing all right, keep going," because even the people who are in charge need that sometimes. Encouragement was a gift that God had given to Barnabas, and Barnabas felt that God was encouraging him to use that gift for other people. So I'm going to leave you in a moment with a question and a challenge and a prayer. Question first. Have a think about who the people are who encourage you. Who is it that tells you when you're doing well? Who helps you to keep going when things are difficult? If you can think of someone, maybe you could say thank you to them for doing that. And a challenge. Can you find a way in which you can encourage someone else today or this week? Is there someone who you can tell that they're doing well, or help them to keep going if something's difficult for them? And finally, a prayer. If you'd like to make this prayer your prayer, feel free to say Amen at the end. God of encouragement, thank you for the people around us who encourage us to keep going when things are difficult and who tell us when we are doing well. Help us to notice when people around us need encouragement and to say or do kind things so that they know when they are doing well and that they feel encouraged to keep going when things are difficult. Amen. See you again soon, I hope. Bye for now.